Yesterday, we spent the afternoon in a place after 36, 37 years that I never was in before. And that was the bog.
Now, the bog is a bit legendary here in Ireland because families here talk about how they used to go to the bog to collect turf. And turf would be basically, well, peat that they would collect as briquettes and they burn it as fuel. But it's made out of really old plants.
Yeah, plants, like thousands of years of plants compressing and compressing and compressing. And it's dug. Years ago, it was dug by hand. A sod, which would be a chunk, would be thrown up onto the ground. And then it would be, the water would leak out of it and it would be turned and water would leak out until it finally dried to almost to be like a piece of wood, almost as hard as wood.
Nowadays, they have some equipment that helps them kind of, I guess, press them together and it kind of spits them out into these
long turd shapes.
And
it's true, they look like turds.
But people are still able to use it. Now, you probably have heard peat is one of those non-renewable resources. It's used a lot in the garden industry. Yeah. And so in the past, Ireland, basically almost all of their electrical power was from turf-fired power plants.
Yeah, they would dig it, just like our coal plants, but they would just dig it up and dump it into the furnaces. And that powered Dublin and all. I mean, that's what created the electricity. Yeah, and I should just point out, I'd heard a few years ago there was enough turf for approximately 600 more years.
Yeah. Now they now no longer use turf to produce electricity, and people are still able to dig it for personal use, although that's being restricted as well.
Yeah.
So,
what are they using instead of turf?
I don't know.
He'll get back to you on that one.
I'm not going to know what the ESB or whatever.
Google.
Even that. I think it's changing every single year. I can't keep up. He's putting all the pressure on me.
Don't I have enough? Do I not do enough?
So we did spend the day in the bog. And like I said, people used to always talk about, oh, I remember being in the bog. Now, some people have fond memories. Some people remember their childhood as being a little, we had to spend all day in the bog. But everybody talked about tea in the bog.
They all said tea never tasted better in the bog. And it actually would be called tay. In the bog, it was always called tay, which meant it was really strong old tea. But
and we had tea in the bog, or tay in the bog.
It was tay. I made it. It was tay.
It was pretty darn good. I thought.
Yeah, but it was really dark because it had been sitting in the thermos. Years ago, I think they used to prepare it right there in the bog, but we actually put it into a thermos. So. Yeah,
it was a very, very interesting experience to be out there, and we also realized that like each family has their own way of stacking or footing the turf. It's called footing it. So some of them had these really high.
Oh, some are elaborate, like almost Jenga things. Other people just make a teepee shape, and then like us, we just raked it and kept moving it around.
And we ended up in the bog because our neighbor did say, hey, would you guys want a line of turf? And we kind of thought about it. We said, well, we'd love a line of turf.
And I thought that meant it was going to be just driven up and dumped into the back and stacked by somebody. No, we actually had to go out and turn the turf.
I think they would have done it for us, but it kind of is the tradition.
And another neighbor told us we were really supposed to go out there and do it ourselves.
So we tried to do our part. I don't know if we did a good job or not.
Well,
we did the best we could for inexperienced turf turners.
Yeah, no, I think I was impressed with us.
Yeah, now turf purists might not like our little roll it over with a rake technique because, I mean, some people, like he said, Jenga style, some people are very serious about stacking
Corey will show you pictures of our line, and then he'll show you pictures of some of the professionals, or I shouldn't say professionals, just, I guess family tradition is this is how it's done. Like our fathers always, this is how it's done. Don't question me.
And I think people would agree that when you stack it the way they do, it does dry better, and you're going to end up with better sods of turf.
Sure.
With us, we might have some that are going to have more moisture, more dry.
Yeah, whatever. A little crumbly, more crumbly, I'd say.
I think so. Yeah. But hey, we did the best we could with it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And look at it. I was thrilled to be able to be in the bog after all these years. And you'll see, wait till Corey shows you the pictures of how big this bog is and the lines of turf. It's a 10 across or 14 across, and it goes down like.
Yeah, it has like these little rows of the sods that come out. I'm not sure of the whole process that machine does it. It's like they load it into a hopper, and then the hopper
shoots it out like turds. Stop telling me.
Yeah, and it's amazing to think that this thing that looks like mud when it comes out can dry and then be burned. And Liam always loves the smell of turf. It's one of his favorite memories.
I'll tell you, you'd get off the plane in Shannon, and the moment you walked outside, you'd get this beautiful smell of turf smoke. Now, you know how that smell of like barbecue in the summer or wood smoke in the winter time, you'd smell it. It just has a certain kind of nostalgia and great smell. Turf is the same thing, except turf has kind of a bit of a sweeter smell. I can't describe it, but it's just, I really miss it. I really missed smelling it.
Because there aren't a lot of people who are burning turf, or if they are, they're just burning small amounts.
Yeah.
Which, understandably, they're switching to other forms of fuel. But it is kind of quintessential old Ireland.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's so many, like I said, everybody has stories about going out to the bog and getting their turf. And
So if you want to smell turf, you better get over here the next couple of years.
Yeah, and I felt like we were kind of a part of that, even though, I mean, we did do it. I don't know. We didn't spend probably as much time as the average family would, but we put our back into it.
I'm telling you, my back is sore, and so I had to come home, and you know what I had to do when I got home?
Did you?
I laid down.
Oh, nothing. You didn't have any nightcap before, though, right?
I had one before and one after.
There we go.
Very small.
I just had tea, so I'm good. Now, you know what we can do while we're out here?
What?
The raspberry bush is loaded with raspberries right now.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And he told me I can't pick them. They're for people coming tomorrow.
Well, I think there's so many that we're going to have more than we need for tomorrow, so we're good.
He says, wait till he shuts the camera off, and then we go back there. Don't touch them.
I'll be like, pick them.
Oh, yeah. For the people.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya. My first bog home.
Hey, Art, we're going to do something with the bog oak.
And Liam was definitely on the lookout for bog bodies. Have you heard of bog bodies before? Because of the conditions of the bog, there's no oxygen underneath. So if a body was in the bog or butter was in the bog, it doesn't decompose. And same thing with wood. It doesn't decompose because there's no oxygen to break it down or to feed the bacteria or whatever. And so they found bodies for thousands of years ago.
Yeah, and I was pointing him towards this kind of this swampy area. I thought he might enjoy walking.
No, I know when to stay away from where he's
I can't wait to 1,000 years to find out him as a bog body. We have to just.
But it is interesting because in the bog bodies that they did find the fingernails, the hair, all preserved.
Yeah. Even like a little leather satchel's been found. It's fascinating to see. They're just, and they don't know. Like there was one I know they found. It might have been in Scotland, but he had a noose around his neck, so he obviously was murdered. And
so there's a story there.
Yeah.
So this was our adventure in the bog. It's a beautiful day for it. So again, we got lucky. So, hey, just thought we'd give you a little peek at the plants that we're dealing with today have been dead for a very long time.
Yeah, they're not as beautiful,
but boy, they're gonna be warm this winter.
Oh, I'm telling you.